Hello everyone, this is Cresso, and this is part 84 of the Human Journal, Self-Responsibility. Yeah, I just finished watching this interesting audio, and I'm very selective what I watch, especially when it comes to UFOs. Just the vibe, feeling out the message that I got out from this video. But yeah, I'm very selective, so I'm glad I gave it a chance, because there was a moment that I didn't want to hear the whole thing. I think when it comes to the I guess the title and the whole thing about survival, I thought it was going to be another, a fear-based type of video and audio. I'm going to really personally title that. But so after examining this audio, I'm not aware of this, this particular race, the Polarians. It's pronounced Polarians, if I'm pronouncing it right, Polarians. And they're in a different spectrum within consciousness. And I don't really have a pinpoint map within the universe where I'm from. I could just say I'm from an entirely different universe, a universe that's more aligned into a oneness state of consciousness. I understand this universe is a duality universe, and it's designed and set for a reason. All of these things are spiritual. But to go on with this audio. Yeah, it was a lot of the stuff that this being was expressing, plus the testimonial or the experience that this guy named Billy, he showed photos of the spacecraft. I've seen some of these photos before, but metal, different type of metal, and that was, I've seen the photos, but the meat of the message that I got out of this audio was, well, the Polarians, they're space travelers, okay? And I had to really look at this particular race and mine, which is, who I am as Cresso from a different dimension before I came to Earth. And sorry to compare. I had to take notes, because listening to this, I'm just doing my best to reconnect to things, more knowledge that's embedded within me, or to reactivate it. But the Polarians, they're space travelers, and they was giving Billy, a prophecy. The thing was backed up. All the stuff that they shared to him was, all the stuff, the events that was going to happen on Earth, it was pretty much backed up, and everything. Data about Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, all before, maybe decades before, scientists got some discovery or an idea of the structure of Venus and the Saturn moons, or actually Jupiter's moon, excuse me. And a lot of stuff was backed up, documents that's been translated. But yeah, I think a lot of people was trying to debunk Billy's experience encountering it with the Polarians. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing. I had to repeat the name a few times. It's a very unique name. It's funny how the English language is really is. The Polarians, excuse me, I got it. So anyway, so I was just, a lot of stuff they was talking about people, the human race collectively, as far as being, I will put in my own words, in a different or in a higher consciousness state. A lot of the things that this particular race was expressing to Billy is I would say is very similar to a lot of things that I share throughout a lot of my clips in my channel. It's synchronicity in different levels. from what the Polarans was expressing. Some things, it was very similar. There's some various differences. They understand about reincarnation, about the human part of consciousness. I expressed about reincarnation, and reincarnation is universal. It's not just only for the human race, but reincarnation in any humanoid being, for example, experience reincarnation. I did express about how somebody that's having a human experience could pass on and have, depends on your spirit. It depends on what you're vibrating on. You could basically be a Polaran. You could be a human being in one time space, and then you can pass on. You could be a Polaran, you could be a Palladian, you could be any other humanoid beings. Or you could be just spirit. But reincarnation is universal, but they was just basically talking about more in the human part, the human aspect of reincarnation. But as far as time travel, I was just thinking about, my experience from a different time space. I don't really solely describe my way of travel as time travel, but I do go to different dimensions, or I can describe myself as a multi-dimensional being. My way of travel is through portal doors, but their mode of traveling is through spacecraft, which is the flying saucers as you see in this audio. But a lot of things they were saying, I could connect what they're saying. I can. About people being self-responsible, about, a lot of the stuff, the prophecy, if you want to say the prophecy, a lot of stuff that they have, that they position themselves to be or to tell the future, okay? Now, the difference with me, I want to express, okay? Pardon me, I have to compare myself because I like the information I was hearing. I am pleased to hear the information. Very similar to things that I'm sharing throughout all my channels, but I just wanted to express something here. There's really no time. Ultimately, there's timelessness. Whenever we go through a life experience, so let's just say on a physical body, okay, you're going to experience of an idea of a time, okay. They was expressing about infinite, the absolute. They have a different way, but it's the same meaning. The recreation of recreation. And thing is that what the Polarans express about, in my words, the core essence of consciousness. That the core essence of consciousness is love, bliss. It's not really, consciousness is not solely about destruction. There are different levels of consciousness, okay? And that's why a lot of people, that's why our higher self allows mankind to act in such ways, as far as violent acts and all these other things, greed and, a lot of these things, but these are just lessons that people select. And, but the core essence of consciousness is, it's about rebirth. There is no death. I know they express about death, but there is no death. But I also still tell everybody to really tap into who you really are. Awaken. It's about the awakening, and awakening for you revealing or reconnecting your true potential. I say this a lot on my clips, but I was very pleased. I had to examine a lot of things they were saying. It's very, very similar, very, very similar, and they're correct. The Polarans is correct. Nobody's going to save you, everybody. There is no outside God. So I'm kind of like, I'm going to be pairing for what the Polarans are saying, the things what I've been sharing. There is no leader, some lone ranger to come and save you, everybody. The ones that's going to save is yourselves. Now, the Polarians, they're not solely the thing what they are vibing on. They don't want to have any direct interference as far as, let's say, being here or interacting with people in such ways. They've interacted with Billy. I guess there was a connection there, and I guess they was passing information to him. Now, but they also just expressing about the truth, about saying, not give away entirely about the future, okay, but just to share things to people, to give people the opportunity to rethink, to recondition yourselves, to think about the things you do. There's always consequences, whatever we do. Okay, and this goes again about my subtitle of this journal, self-responsibility. A lot of us, we are responsible for our actions, but I see a great deal of people don't like to take on to that. Being self-responsible is too much for the ego. We like to often point blame and lean towards corrupted politicians to fix everything. But the thing is that, you see, being in a mature state spiritually is really basically being self-efficient. Now, I do see people together as a unit, no matter where you are in this world, okay, working together, okay, working well together. And at the same time, I also want to mention about people maturing spiritually and being responsible of your own action, okay? Tapping into your abilities, because you are consciousness, okay? Now, a lot of stuff they were saying about the future, anybody that prophesies the future, and even though they have a track record of being extremely accurate. Now, this is the thing, I'm a little slightly different. Everything is suggested, okay? If I say that the earth will blow up, and I prophesy, and I have a lot of people say, wow, Chris has a track record, okay? It is suggested. Everything in life is suggested. You could align yourself into a world that's going to blow up, or something's going to happen. So a lot of the reason why a lot of the prophecy was been backed up is because a great deal of people align themselves into that reality. But people have the power. You see, every single one of you are power to alter your reality. So it doesn't matter if anybody has a track record of expressing the truth about this is going to happen, Everybody, if you want to align yourself into that reality, is going to happen. That's it. I expressed to everybody before that each and every single individual is the focal point of your own reality. There is no outside God to save you. Okay? You and everyone in this world, you are all it. Now, I want to say that my role, because every ET, as well as every human being, plays a role into this transition about people, consciousness awakens within people. Okay? My role, again, like I said before, I wanted to have an intimate experience being or living in a human body, to feel, to connect with the emotions and everything, as well as that I reconnect into other knowledge that I have in a different lifetime while I'm in this human body. But I want to connect with people, okay? I wanted to assist humanity. I'm not a savior, even though my own ego would try to coin me as a savior. No. People must do the work. Now, I said this in my other journal, and I've been having a deep meditation, reaching out to other multidimensional beings about what to do with these shadow ops. And I was expressing deep down in my heart, what needs to be done is to place every single one of them in the void. But that doesn't mean anything to do with destruction. No, the spirit will live. If I just pave the wave, okay, if I just pave the wave to play my part to assist humanity, this is what I'm doing. I want to emphasize again, I'm not a savior, because everything is pointing to the human race. Okay, the human race is being watched through this universe, this solar system, this universe, and all the other multiverse. Pretty much, the human race in this reality is the main event. And I cannot tell you how many other humanoid beings, even spirits alone, a lot of you know this, they're watching. They're watching how the human race progress. It's the self. It's consciousness from different levels watching its human self. Do you understand, everybody? Everything is tied in together. Now, the Polarian that was talking about, which I'm aligned with this too, it's about the political aspect, about how people, about the political and religion and the greed of all of these things is definitely, it's heavily suggested for people to be in the lower part of consciousness. Now, they mention also about the United States military, how the United States military is occupying all these nations, all these foreign nations around the world. United States military is occupying. That one of the requirement is the military, the U.S. military is to withdraw. They express about World War III. But remember, I told you, everybody, if you want to live in that reality to experience a World War III, okay, you will. The Polarians is just basically saying to everybody, they are telling you the truth, okay? These realities do exist. The thing is that, do you actually want to experience these realities? Do you want to shift, or you want to just slide into that reality? This is the thing that each and every one of us must look within yourself and pay attention, because it is true what they say. The negativity, the vibrational, the frequencies that you give off, you will attract different things, and everything is connected. I emphasize this a lot in my clips. Everything is connected. Everything. There's no coincidence. Everything is connected. Now, as far as the U.S. military and about the whole thing with the government, the United States government, how basically because of the type of government we have in America, it definitely heavily suggests a World War III. Because, like I was telling you in my previous clips, the United States government is a communist system. The United States government and its military is about dominance. It's not about protecting freedom. That's completely bullshit. It's been proven, and for anybody that's open-minded and that's ready to wake up, you got to see these things for yourself. Now, I align myself with information through a book. I know I've been mentioning this before. The Red Amendment. That particular book. There's no coincidence that I align myself with this information, this book. But because a lot of people, okay, see, the thing I'm understanding about the human race look towards documentation, laws. So, I'm holding an information that I am playing my part to get the word out about people in America to restore the limited government. It's called the de jure government. It's the government that's not about waging war against mankind. It is the complete opposite than the The government that we allow in our reality, the governments that's in office are criminals. That's the role that the people are playing. Their communism, it's all about control and fear. So I'm doing my best to get the word out that for lawfully to restore America, America has 50 nations, okay? America Republic has 50 nations. Each state is a country. So again, when it was talking about how the United States military, it has to be withdrawn away from other nations around the world, okay? There's other things too they talk about, but anyway, it's in the audio. I'm just recapping a little bit what they say and just compare for where I'm at spiritually and the things that I've been sharing to everybody. Once people restore America, the de facto government, the current government will be gone. You understand? No more Trump. He will have no dominion at all in office. Okay? Trump is a foreign, okay? He's playing a role as a foreign entity. That's the structure here, the way things set up here in America, okay? There won't be no more Trump. Your senators in Congress, they won't have any power whatsoever. You want to fill, each nation has 100 seats, if I'm correct. Those seats must be filled. It must be filled to basically get every single state out of the federal jurisdiction, because the federal is foreign. It is not the true republic. It's not anything to do with the America Republic. So understand this. So the book that I'm having is legitimate. Okay? So I'm playing my part to pass the information out and to assist people to remove the communism in America. So that way, when that transition does happen, far as changing governments, the United States military, okay, they will have no choice but to withdraw. The military will reduce into the republic, or you want to call it the militia, from my understanding in the research. They will be the militia or the republic. The only time they will go to war is to defend this land here in America, not invading other nations. Do you understand, everybody? That is the way it's originally designed here in America. United States military is communism. They are breaking the true organic constitution. So yeah, so definitely I already have the information to remove the communist government. But I'm not the only one. It's going to take everybody's part to get involved, wake up, get out of this comfort zone of, well, what could I do? I can't do anything. To shift out of that mentality, okay? Because the bigger picture about all of this, everybody, is that you governing yourselves. Polarians have a different idea in the sense of, far as a peaceful government, if somebody does something or a terrorist act, they will be brought in front of a worldwide government or some sort. But I just have a different idea about it. So I may not be a completely in alignment for what they say about that. I do see people reaching that point already. This is what I see, and I'm very confident what I'm saying. People governing themselves. This takes spiritually maturity. You're mature and spiritually, everybody. No more religion. No more this bullshit religion that creates war. Religion creates division and war. You understand? These world governments, okay, it is required, not just here in America, but these world governments that try to wage war and everything. For the transition, for people to go into higher consciousness, is people literally removing the governments, taking the world governments out of power. People are being self-responsible. Okay? You're being self-responsible. You understand, everybody? I want you to take it in what I'm saying. Take it deep down in your heart. You all have the ability to do this. I highly encourage anybody to get past your fear of self-doubt. Okay? Everything is suggested. You do not have to live in a world of chaos, nor do you have to live in a world that's in immediate danger of nuclear warfare. The Polarans mentioned about the nuclear, the whole thing with the nuclear activity, and I agree. There are a lot of ET races agree about how the human race must do away with these nuclear activities. Okay, they will come in. More races, more ET races will come in if the Earth is in vital danger. But my mentality is, you have to understand where I'm coming from. That life can't be destroyed. If the Earth is destroyed, it would be molded into something else. But that reality do exist. What reality that I prefer? I prefer to be in a reality that people live in harmony, and people understand their true potential, and people are governing themselves, and people are working well together, and people utilizing technology that that's not creating, or let's just say, clean air. You want to have a healthy planet that you could breathe, and none of this pollution stuff. Okay, we all, the answers, everybody's within you. It is within all of us. So I'm just going over and just thinking further what, if anything I want to add here in this journal. It was very interesting. I had to examine it. I had to really meditate, and I was meditating to other multidimensional beings about this. They was expressing to me about the Polarans, and this universe and beyond is so vast. I mean, the size, it's just, I can say vastness, but it's like, this might sound strange to the mind. Consciousness is about vastness, and consciousness is so tiny that you can't even see it with your own physical eyes. That's what consciousness is. Consciousness is not just about vastness. It's consciousness. It could be smaller than a molecule. You can't even see it. Kind of makes me think of that movie Ant-Man. If anybody see that movie Ant-Man towards the end, how he shrunk himself so small, he was literally going into a dimension of just by shrinking himself, literally. So yeah, that's just make me think about consciousness. That if you able to shrink yourself, I'm not kidding here. You shrink yourself, yeah, you could go in. See, traveling through different dimension is also inwardly. It's not outwardly only, but it's inwardly. But I could just go around here and there, just express things, but just not to make things difficult to understand. I don't want to make it complicated for any, I don't want anybody to get lost what I'm sharing. You have the abilities, everybody, to do wonders that your own mind is not going to understand. So, the Polarans, they may only vibe in by giving you suggested ideas of a reality for anybody to think before you go forward. The whole concept about the cause and effect. And my role is that I want to assist humanity by inspiring people. inspiring people, passing information, just letting everybody know who they are. I'm telling you all who you are. Okay? The entire self is watching the human race. You are the event, everybody. You are the main event. And it's very extremely important for the human race to go into higher consciousness. And I'm saying it's important, but I also could say overall that nothing cannot stop consciousness from expanding. Life is a continuum. Life expands, everybody. Life expands. It's just the nature of consciousness. You understand? So I do my best to simplify for everybody to understand and connect. Okay? I love expressing the truth. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen things. Okay? I experience things. I live different lives. I know I live infinity. And the Polarians touch on that, about the reincarnation for the human state, for the human part of consciousness. You all live many lives, many lives, and the wisdom and intelligence and knowledge and everything, everybody, it's all possessed within you. I mean, for example, you carry wisdom from a different lifetime that you may not be aware of, you know, but you can be aware of those things. You can, when you decide to be ready. It's you deciding to be ready, nothing outside. Okay. I think I cover a great deal on this journal. I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I gave this this audio a chance, because I'm very selective what I hear, the things that I want to listen. And so whenever I listen to something really good and something that's very interesting to at least just put the time out to listen to, I'm going to provide links to it. So the link to this audio is below my description. Thank you all for listening. It's a pleasure as always. And whatever comes in my heart, I'm going to express it in my journal. And if it's not in my Human Journal series, it'll be another type of audio, video. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to express the things that I'm sharing to everybody, and meaning the truth of who we are, and that life is full of possibilities. Okay, and that we can, okay, you have the ability to live a world in harmony and peace and higher consciousness. Okay, that reality exists, and that reality that I prefer to be or experience on earth. And I know deep down inside in your hearts, everybody, you all prefer that. So sometimes we just don't know how it's going to work out, and that's okay. You're not alone, everybody. But again, before I close out, people must do the work. You must do the work to reconnect, okay, of who you are. All right, everybody. Until then, I will be back for part 85. Take care.